This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new Integra. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvietto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orviettosawards.com. Orvietto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 88 3080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Slowman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Slowman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rheaume can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All right. Welcome aboard. Good morning. It is Friday. You made it. Weekend is here. Yes, sir. All right. No Canes, but we do have the Dolphins on Sunday. And by the way, the athletic Jeff George and the Chargers are now only 3.5-point favorites. This thing started at 5.5 points. So if you're a Dolphin fan and you took the 5.5 points, you got yourself some value right now. I know it's the Dolphins.
I don't know what Vegas is thinking, though. Like, as far as So,
we're so bad.
I know it's Omari Hampton being out.
Yeah.
But then the backup running backs run for 200 yards against us too. So that should even add more points to this game.
Yeah.
The backups.
Yeah, and they got a bunch of backup linemen playing. So, but I guess that's why it's gone down and down. And it's like, hey, they're not that good. So, that kind of stuff. So the athletic Jeff George, but hey, listen, he can overcome all of that, right? He's favored by 3.5, and the over and under did not change, 43.5. The Chargers are minus 210. This started on Monday. It was Chargers minus 250 and Dolphins plus 200. It has ended Dolphins plus 175 and minus 210. By the way, on Wednesday, it was Chargers minus 400, Dolphins plus 300. So crazy stuff on the line, the way it has moved. Anyway, good stuff. Appreciate you all out there. Good morning. You know that Chick-fil-A doesn't fail. Oh, God, they were slow. And then not only that, I get my biscuit, and I ate my biscuit, and then I reach to have my Coke that I cheat on for the day. Here we go. It was, I don't know what they sell there, root beer, Barks, whatever the hell it is. It wasn't Coke. It was one of those medicine-tasting damn drinks that you people like out there. Whatever it is, Dr. Pepper, Barks, I don't know any. Well, what's that? What's the other one that's like that? Pibb, Mr. Right? No, is it Mr. Pibb? Mr. Pibb? Is that shit still around? Okay. But anyway, whatever it is, those kind of drinks that they taste like medicine. I have no idea how you folks out there, any of you like root beer too? I can't stand
I do like root beer. Now, Dr. Pepper,
so
I'll occasionally dabble with the drink.
So Dr. Pepper is not root beer, or Barks is not root beer, or
Barks is root beer.
Okay, are they all root beer, or is it?
No,
I think
no.
some
Dr.
of them...
Pepper's has like 22 flavors.
Oh, okay, so
something.
Okay, so it's even more disgusting.
It's a little bit more, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, either way, whatever Chick-fil-A has, they fed me that thing. So then I had to go back around, and like, hey, she comes. Oh, maybe our Coke is bad, and then she comes back and she goes, okay, here we go, but this is the Coke we have. It's like, it was all right. It was decent, whatever,
Are they trying to do their own style of soda?
I don't know, but it's just that line. This is the Coke we have.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, no, because a lot of companies now are kind of like Las Patas. They have their own cola.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have Las Patas Cola, Las Patas Lemon Lime, Las Patas Birch Beet. Like they did whatever
their own brand. So
their own brand. Yeah,
so they're brewing. They're brewing their own.
I don't know how it works. I don't know if they just purchased the right to have, but it's called Las Patas Cola.
Well, you can make your own cola.
Yeah. I'm sure you can. I'm just saying.
In fact, somebody yesterday on Twitter was asking about a drink in the 80s that doesn't exist anymore. We've talked about it before because I miss it more than life itself. Canada Dry, Jamaica Cola. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Coca-Cola that ever existed. Was made by Canada Dry. They had their own Coke. It was called Jamaica Cola, and that was my favorite cola drink of all time, dude. Of all time. And by the way, you people at Canada Dry, you suck. Okay? You suck for eliminating Jamaica Cola. Just want you to know that. You suck. Anyway, you got some there because you grabbed the mic?
I was going to say, it's funny, though, because as I gotten older, I've gone out of like the Coke and stuff like that. Now I'm more ginger ale. I'm drinking more ginger ale.
It's good for you. It's good for you. I drink a ton less Coke, but I do treat myself. I have to say. Anyway, so we'll have David Furones on the show. We'll have Manny Navarro on the show. Steve Calibro will hit us with the wise guy picks. He was 3-0 yesterday. So we'll see. We'll get him on. We are here at Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Larry Schlossberger's right back there, man, getting it done as always. Appreciate you all out there. Some nice ZDXs there. So come on out and join us. We'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. Looking forward to this weekend. See if the Dolphins can get a victory and piss some people off, I guess, because, we got people rooting for just losses now. All of that. What else do we have? Last night, I saw where the Giants got it done against the Eagles. More importantly, the Panthers got it done against the Flyers. Bad night in Philadelphia, right? The Phillies got eliminated, and then the Flyers lose. So not a good. Yeah, I know, terrible elimination. Yeah, walk off. Yeah. So, yeah. That's one that hurts. But it is what it is, man. The Dodgers do have one hell of a lineup. Although I question their pitching a little bit going into the back end of their pitching, going into this playoffs. But
you knew one team was going to make that mistake. You just didn't know which one, because it was coming down to that. It wasn't that game where it's going to be a walk-off home run. It was going to be some kind of mental mistake. You knew it was going to.
I saw the highlights. I didn't see the game. Oh, I was at dinner last night, so
it was rough.
I watched the highlights for the Panthers game, watched the highlights for the Giants game, and then the highlights for the Phillies game. The Panther game should have been
a lot more,
like 4, 5, 6-2, let's say, because they could have scored a goal themselves.
Yeah. But
the Panthers, Jesus Christ, how many shots did they have that they
peppered and hit the post,
Oh man, they were right there. It was like, holy crap. They should have scored a lot more goals. They were good yesterday.
71 shots through first two games.
Yeah, they look good yesterday, man. They look good. If they play like that, they're going to score a lot more than 2 goals in a game. So that was really, really good overall. Lundell, Marchand, this is kind of what you want, right? And this is why you brought guys like this here, and this is why you're developing a Lundell. So really good stuff there with the Panthers. I saw Dolphin Dave goes, Big O, did you see Dart last night? The quarterback is going to be a star. And my problem with all of that is, oh, man, it's a lot of fun. Man. Prisoners of the moment. Jackson Dart won't last playing like that. And, Dolphin Dave followed up. Oh, yeah, Josh Allen. Josh Allen is 6'5". Jackson Dart is 6'2". There's like a 30-pound difference and a 3-inch height, and one dude is a monster, and he still suffers concussions and stuff like that. Jackson Dart, it's fun. He will not last playing like that. And let me tell you something. Scatterbo, super fun. That's a short shelf life also, the way he plays. Allstott or the Nigerian Nightmare or, all of those running backs that wanted to go seek contact. Bro, that doesn't end well, dude. That fizzles out quickly. I've been watching football for a long time, Dolphin Dave. Just so you'll know. And I'm the guy that kind of puts the brakes on some things and brings more of the level-headed approach from you guys. Sometimes you'll feel like it's a little negative there, like right now. Scatterbo, fun as hell. Enjoy it while it lasts, because stuff like that does not last. Okay? You can be Marion Barber and run like a hammer. And guess what? Eventually, that hammer's going to end quickly. And it was, 4 or 5 years for Marion Barber? Then he ran out of gas. Because he ran so hard and he wasn't a big guy. Then Christian Okoye was a big guy, and it lasted only a couple of years. That stuff of being a hammerhead in football doesn't last, man. Doesn't last. It's fun. Scatterbo's fun. Don't get me wrong, dude. The backflips, the Scatterbo stuff, all it's all great. It's fun. I watched the video where everybody was making fun of him, and then at the end of the video, he's like, I don't like being made fun of, and all that. So I'm having fun with it with the rest of you. But I also sit back and go, I've seen this before. I know how it goes. Hammerheads don't last long. What Zonka did back in the day, forget about it, bro. Forget about it. That's just one in a lifetime that does that kind of stuff. I'm
not saying that the players weren't good back then. They weren't built the way some of these guys are built this today.
No.
I mean, you're running into walls. I mean,
yes.
It's not everybody back then was kind of okay. There were some guys that had physiques and things like that, but you weren't running into brick walls like what you got today.
Yeah. So, Dolphin Dave, it's fun. And you can feel a little jealous as a Dolphins fan, even though the Giants are 2-4. But you can feel a little jealous because, there's a lot of excitement and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. But that style of play for Jackson Dart, he better learn to make a living from the pocket. Because he will not. How many times? He's gone into the blue tent twice already. The first time he played 3 weeks ago, he was checked for a concussion and then came back. And yesterday, okay, it's only a matter of time. Can't play like that in the NFL. You just cannot play like that in the NFL. You will break down and they will wear you down. And it doesn't matter how big you are. And the Scatterbo stuff is the same thing, dude. Fun as hell. It'll last for a little bit, but eventually. So mark it down, and if they're still around 10 years from now, 8 years from now, still doing this, then you can tell me, hey, I was wrong. But in a couple years, if they continue at this pace, they will not last long. They will not be in the game very long. That's just what I've seen from my experience. But it was fun. It was fun. I will say that. Cosa Nostra, good morning to you, sir. Stephen Harris, a One-Eyed Jack, Jeff in Long Island, Horn Dog, Jamie Zoria in San Jose. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button there. Very low on the likes right now. John Padilla, Fins Nation, don't sit right. Heard Raiders Nation my whole life, especially in the Bay. Brian Ratke in, Lisa Rose, loving her Dodgers. Ty in the Bronx. Sweet Baby Ray. True Fin fan. Ocala Joe. And he's smashing it too. Thank you, sir. Let's see. I'm not rooting for the Dolphins to lose at all. I am realistic and don't see the team stopping anyone the rest of the year. Can we win a couple? Sure, but that's not realistic. Well, they'll win a couple because that's kind of the way the league is set up. I just don't think they're going to go anywhere, unfortunately. Dart looked concussed. I'm just telling you, dude, you will not last. He definitely will not last long playing like that. They wore down Cam Newton, bro. Cam Newton was broken down. You know what it takes to beat down Cam Newton? They beat Cam Newton down. And those are men that are much bigger and stronger than Jackson Dart. It's a lot of fun, but it won't last. It will not last. You got to learn to make a living from the pocket. Mountain Man Fishing, Devin Jordan. If it wasn't for the tush push, the Eagles offense would be crap. Stephen Harris, Big O, I think Dolphin Dave needs a blind ass fan alert. No. I wouldn't give Dolphin Dave a blind-ass fan alert for only this. He is caught in the moment, and then he's also frustrated with his own team. So he is a little misguided right now, and kind of they're having fun. It's a fun moment. We're not having fun. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how he feels, and other Dolphins fans that have said the same thing. Like they're kind of jealous of it, and I get it. But if we sit back and start thinking logically about how you play football and who's doing it, and that style for those two guys, it's entertaining for a short amount of time, but it will not be a long-term way of getting through. You just cannot do that. So if Jackson Dart can't make a living from the pocket, he will die outside of the pocket eventually. And that's the sad part. Luis Medina, Miami Kid J. Okoye wasn't right after Steve Atwater popped him. I mean, when you got guys like Steve Atwater coming at you, dude, it's not easy. Jay Gelfin, Shabbat Shalom, Orlando Sean, and chat crew. The Panthers are set up for a three-peat and then some. Oh, I agree on Scatterbo, but Jackson Dart is showing he's the real deal with his on-field decision. You're missing my point. I'm not saying that he's not showing that he can't play. I'm saying that the way he's playing will not last long. He cannot run this much. There's no way, Jay. There's no way. He cannot run this much and take that many hits. He will have a very, very short career. I guarantee you this, that Jackson Dart will not last long if he continues at this pace running the football. They need it because they're not a good football team. So they've got to win any way they can, and that's the coach is trying to save his job, and that's what he's doing, where he's hurrying the guy up from the damn tent. Don't apologize after, bro. Oh, I apologize. No. You're an asshole. You throw these players out there, you milk the hell out of them until they got nothing left, and then you're going to just cast them aside. So, guy kind of showing that he doesn't give a crap when the kid is laying it all out on the line. I love how he's playing. It's not something that's going to last. Not that way. It will not. Alma Mia. Jackson Dart is going to get killed if he keeps this up. What an ego nutcase. No. I don't think it's an ego nutcase thing. I just think it's how he plays. And he's just trying to win a game. And he doesn't realize the damage that he's doing or could end up doing to himself playing this way. So, Big O Scatterbo was shaking his head like a horse all game. I give him 2 more years. Smelling salts, anyone? Exactly. Fun as hell, short-lived. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you, sir. Dolphin Dave says, I've been watching football a long time. We will see how his career goes. I just think he will learn how to play from the pocket. Well, that's not what I'm saying. You're assuming that. All I'm telling you is, if he plays this way, there's no future. Period. And you said Josh Allen. Horrible comparison, Dolphin Dave. Do not compare Jackson Dart to Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a giant. Jackson Dart is not. So he can take a little more punishment, and he has suffered his share of injuries and concussions. All right? So you're assuming he will do that. We don't know that for sure. Let's hope so. Let's hope he does it quickly, because any of those hits can bust his knee, his shoulder, ribs, and he's done for a while. He better learn how to play from that pocket quickly. Okay. What else do we have? Tim Big Riggins. Dart likely already had numerous concussions before being drafted. He is already up against the clock. Mark Rigg, regular listener here, all the way from Birmingham in the UK. This mediocrity seems like the worst outcome. What's needed to make Finns a great team so I can see a playoff win for the first time. My brother, Mark, I talked about this the last couple of days, that because of what you've done here, you're going to set back next year too. Next year is going to be another kind of transition year because you're going to get new coaches. With new coaches comes new schemes, and you have to change some players, and then do they all have to get used to it? And are you going to solve all your offensive line issues by next year? I don't know. That's hard to ask any team to do that. Are you going to be dominant on the D line? That's going to be hard to ask. So who knows when we're going to get there to that point? I don't know what the future holds right now. I don't know what kind of changes are going to be made. Are you just going to make coaching changes and then you're going to keep the personnel department? Okay. You have an opportunity for a little bit more continuity there. But if you're going to change everything else, then it's really going to be a setback. So, and you're asking the question that we've all been wanting to happen for many years now. So there is no, right now, let's put it this way with the Miami Dolphins, my friend. Let's put it this way, Mark. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. Until you can prove where you're going and who you're doing it with, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's a light at the end of the tunnel if you're the Florida Panthers, because you're going to get your stars back eventually, but you're deep enough, experienced enough that you can actually right the ship for now, because the foundation is there. Everything is proven. None of that exists for the Miami Dolphins. None of that exists right now for the Miami Heat. While the organization has the history, these players have none, and they've proven nothing. And you don't even know the direction that they're going in. So far, all we've seen is that they're mediocre. That's just the way it goes. You have to look at what path you have set up. By the way, for those of you that even have thanked me for preparing you for this season, so you maybe didn't go to a trip or didn't spend extra money for this, that, whatever, we're saving you money for next year because it'll be another transition year. It ain't going to be a playoff year. It ain't going to be some kind of contending year or anything like that. So, plan accordingly too. Maybe you don't have to spend the money you've spent in the past. Maybe you don't have to travel, because next year is not going to be a good year, unfortunately, Mark. It's going to be another transition year. It's hard to ask a franchise that hasn't figured it out to just figure it out all of a sudden. So I would tell you, you're a ways away from enjoying or trying to enjoy what we all want. What else do we have? Yes, Dart better learn to slide. I agree on that one. Let's see. Yeah, Derrick Henry is, that's like Jim Brown, every once in a while, that athletic, that Will Chamberlain type, the LeBron James, every once in a while, that freakish athlete will show up that is just genetically different than everybody else. Zonka. I don't know. Have we ever seen another running back like Zonka after Zonka? No. Not at all. Leading with his head, carrying a bunch of dudes, and he did it for whatever it was, 9 years or something. Ridiculous. That just doesn't happen anymore. So, once in a while you'll have that athletic freak, but he's the aberration. He's not the norm. You know what I mean? And Jackson Dart is not an aberration. He's the norm. He is no physical freak like Derrick Henry or even Josh Allen to a certain extent. That's why Lamar Jackson will not age well. Lamar Jackson, it will only get worse. Why? He will only get slower. And since he can't live in the pocket, he's going to end up taking more hits. So that's the important part about learning to live from the pocket. Because eventually even the athletic ones will be forced to be pocket passers. And if you can't do that, then, your career is going to end a lot faster. And that's what will happen to Lamar Jackson. His career will not be extended because he did not learn to live from the pocket. So once he loses that athletic ability, it'll be a lot like Culpepper. Wham. His career will have a 90-degree drop. And it'll be over. Why? Because he can't live from the pocket. Running quarterbacks, it's the inevitable. You will die. They will break you in half. And even if you're Cam Newton, you will not live long. You will not grow old running. Okay? Not even Josh Allen. The only thing is he'll be able to take some more hits than Lamar can because he's twice the size of Lamar. All right. What else do we have? Let's see. Boy, the TUA trash. Okay, got it. Stephen Baker, look at Big Ben. Yeah, they wore him down and they beat him down. So, and he's a big guy. That's Jackson Dart doesn't have that. Jackson Dart will be cooked if he continues at this pace. Ready to go? Furones? All right, let's do it. David Furones is ready to go with our Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welton Rheaume has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
What are you? Where are you at with the Jackson Dart hype?
That was exciting last night. First and foremost, I felt it was just karma for all Philadelphia sports because the Eagles ran 4 straight tush pushes, and then at halftime of the Eagles game, you get the Phillies eliminated in the NLDS, you get the Flyers lost going final to our Florida Panthers down here, and then the Eagles end up losing by multiple scores to the Giants. So I just felt it was all karma for them running 4 straight tush pushes. But on the Giants, I mean, hey, Jackson Dart gives them hope over there, and probably he could be saving Brian Daboll his job, giving him some time. And I love Cam Scatterbo. I got him on 3 different fantasy teams. So I like what they got.
The only thing I would tell everybody is that shit won't last long.
I hear you.
Jackson Dart cannot play like this every week. He will die, and he will die a quick death. Cam Scatterbo, I've seen this before. This doesn't last long either. The guy that leads with his head and takes on hits and all that. I don't care if you're Christian Okoye or whatever, unless you're Derrick Henry, which is, one of those once-in-a-lifetime freaks. Everybody wears down, and everybody gets beaten down. And so it's a lot of fun, but just kind of want to bring everybody back to reality that if Jackson Dart doesn't learn how to live from the pocket, he's going to have a really, really short career. We've already had a couple people mention Josh Allen. 6'2" to 6'5" and 30 pounds is a huge difference between those two guys. So Josh Allen can take more of a beating, and eventually he will wear down too, by the way. But for me, it's a lot of fun to watch what the Giants are doing, but it's going to be a very short-lived experience at this pace. That's all I'm saying.
Brian Daboll needs to tell them to use their heads, but not the way they are using their heads. Cam Scatterbo can't be that battering ram and lead with his head all the time, because it is literally his head that he is using as a weapon. And eventually, your head is not going to respond well. Your skull, your brain will not respond well to that. So, that would be good advice. And then Jackson Dart, there was one scramble. He dove for the first down, scrambling toward the sideline, like launching himself head first. That is not what you want your quarterback doing.
I know.
I can't remember. Did he pick it? I only saw the highlight. I didn't see this.
He's been in the blue tent already twice.
Yeah, and he was in the blue tent, and Brian Daboll just couldn't wait to get him back out there when he saw Russell Wilson throw a football again. So they're going to need to get it through his head to keep himself available. The way it definitely took a long time for the Dolphins to get it through to Tua, and I think he's made strides in that area. I mean, we saw him show the restraint to slide on a 3rd and 8. The team was winning 17-13 early in the third quarter, so it's not the situation where you say it's a must-have, and he was not getting it. He had 2 defenders on either side. He couldn't go left. He couldn't go right. If he goes in the middle, probably both of them collide with him. And
he slid on time this time. And he slid on time this time, not like the other time that, the guy got the penalty, but really it was Tua's fault because he slid super late. It was all on Tua for me. I blame him the first week when he did that because he waited way too long to end up sliding. But it's all right. He ate a steak, so he'll be fine.
It's the carbs, Big O. So he added carbs to the diet to go with the protein.
Steak, carbs, what is it? The bread, rice, what did he have? Potatoes. Okay, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. By the way, is Idaho one of his sponsors, Idaho Potatoes? Just saying, So now we all know, just eat some carbs and that's it. Right. Steak and potatoes, and you'll never have a concussion again.
Hey, these are doctors telling him this, Big O. You can't just undermine it.
Huh? What's that?
These are doctors telling him this. I don't think it's going to prevent every.
It ain't gonna prevent jack shit, bro. When they rack your head, it ain't gonna protect anything whatsoever. I don't care how much water you got in or you retain, or I don't care what you ate. You ate a breaded steak. I don't care what it is. Un bistec empanizado, okay? I don't care if you got boosted by that. No, it ain't gonna help you, bro. It ain't gonna help you.
Well, where I think it could help is the ones.
Now that I'm thinking about it, un bistec empanizado might protect you from anything, actually.
It works for us. It works for us Cubans, right?
Yes, I gotta say.
But I think it'll help for the ones that you should not be getting concussed from, like when he lowered his head into DeMar Hamlin's bicep and ended up on the ground with a concussion. I think those, when it's like head whiplash, when it's like he didn't really take, it was a kind of a routine play. He didn't take a strong hit to the head and he still ended up concussed. I think those probably, there had to be something where his brain was not, his head was not fully suited to handle the vibrations that come with some routine plays in football. Whereas, of course, if you get rocked, I don't think it's going to help you in those cases, but probably minimizes for those routine ones.
Because of his stupidity early on, now he is more susceptible.
He knows that too.
You know what I mean? Yeah, of course. But he finally got it. Now it's too late. Now you've suffered more injuries. Now you've suffered more concussions. Now you're more susceptible to it. And these are things that, bonehead, you can't do this. And that's why I'm talking about the whole Jackson Dart thing. That's a lot of fun, but that will end badly. That's what we'll do for Jackson Dart. This will end badly for him if he plays this way. And it has already ended badly for Tua because of all the injuries that he has suffered, thinking that he can extend plays, thinking that he's an athlete. That is the beauty of the Marinos and the Mannings and the Bradys of the world and the Drew Breeses. They got it quickly, dude. They understood they weren't athletes, and they did what they had to do, play the game. This kid didn't understand that. And then he tried to do more, and he has created more health issues for himself because of that kind of stuff. Marino was never going to try to outrun you, and neither was Peyton Manning. At no point did did Drew Brees ever think of doing the crazy shit that Tua tries to do. At no point. They understood who they were, and Tua has paid the price because he doesn't realize, like Jackson Dart, who he is.
Yeah, exactly that. You got to know who you are. You got to understand your limitations in this game against colossal human beings, tremendous athletes on the other side, whose job is to destroy you when they're playing defensive football. So, yeah, and what an advantage it gives the opposing team if they take the starting quarterback out of the game in a legal way, especially. Especially when we've seen what the Dolphins are with backup quarterbacks in this era. So, obviously protecting himself first and foremost, and goes with Jackson Dart as well, because then we see what Russell Wilson looks like right now too for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, he got booed right away.
Relentless over there.
That was awesome. All right, dude. So the line started at 5.5 when it first came out. Now it's all the way down to 3.5 points Chargers. What'd you think about, because my dumb ass actually thinks the Dolphins have a chance this week. And I don't know why I do this to myself, because, you thought they had a chance against Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Even though I told everybody I thought they would lose one of the two against the Jets and Carolina, because it's just so Dolphins. But again, I'm looking at this, I'm going, well, they're not that good. You're at home.
Yeah.
You got a chance here, actually, in this game.
No, all those reasons. I felt the early line was kind of disrespectful to the Dolphins, given the circumstance. I feel like a lot of people just who graze over it would probably view it this way, like, oh yeah, the Chargers, they started 3-0, and the Dolphins, look at them, they were 0-3, they just blew the 17-point lead to the Carolina Panthers. How are they going to beat the Chargers and Justin Herbert? Well, the Chargers are coming off of 2 straight losses. One of them to the Giants, gave the Giants their first win. They didn't look very good against Washington. They're banged up all over the place. I believe they're going to be missing both tackles because Rashawn Slater's already out, and it seems like Joe Alt is trending toward missing this game again. So Justin Herbert has not had a good last 2 games without that protection in front of him. They got to travel across the country and play what is a 10 a.m. kickoff in Pacific time. So that always is a factor whenever it's West Coast teams traveling west to east and playing this early time slot. Plus heat and humidity. Hey, they're from LA. So it's kind of like nice weather out right now.
Yeah, they don't have our humidity over there.
It's not right. It's definitely not. So that'll be a factor as well. The Dolphins have been practicing in a lot of humidity throughout training camp and the early portions of the season. So there are a lot of factors where I think it was the sharp money early when they saw that 5.5, right? Then that starts pulling the line closer, because as home underdogs, to be 5-point dogs to a team that's lost the last 2, not looking good. And the Dolphins, yes, they blew a 17-point lead, but let's not forget how they looked when they built that 17-point lead, where you saw some of the signs even without Tyreek Hill. Then I thought that early line was a bit much for what you usually see in the NFL, especially for a home team against a team on a 2-game losing streak traveling across.
Will this secondary get an interception against the athletic Jeff George?
The athletic Jeff George? What?
Yeah, he's a choker. He's just an athletic choker. It's kind of what I see. I mean, how marvelous was the 10 points that he scored last week? I mean, if he's so good, well, why could he only come up with 166 yards, a touchdown, and interception last week? I'm just wondering. I mean, because everybody everybody blames Tua because they want him to do everything: block, run, defend, stop the run, coach on the sidelines, get plays in on time, win challenges, do all the things that nobody does around him, right? Sometimes they don't even run the right routes or anything like that. All the stuff that just hurts Tua constantly. But, Herbert is Mr. Magic, right? I mean, he's the greatest quarterback since sliced bread. He can overcome everything. So last week against Washington, a mere 10 points. Why? And then all the excuses come out for Herbert. It's amazing. There are no excuses for Tua, but all the excuses are there for the athletic Jeff George. So, question.
No, it is remarkable.
Will the athletic
because...
Jeff George throw an interception or two here in this game?
Well, the thing about that is that you also have to count on the Dolphins secondary to come away with an interception. They only have one this year, which was this past game. Maybe they're trending up in that regard.
It was Minka. It was Minka.
Yeah.
The secondary doesn't count. The secondary only counts that gets an interception when it's not Minka. Okay, when it's not the only legitimate player that you have back there, I can't count Minka because Minka's all by himself. Like, he's the only one that belongs in the NFL. The rest of those guys, we have no idea if they even belong in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny. I don't know.
You can't go that far. You can't go that far because, all right, Rasul Douglas is a starting corner in the NFL who has played a lot of games. Now, he is on the wrong side of 30 now, but I mean, he's a veteran who has played a lot. Hey, you know what? I give these corners credit because they actually have the Dolphins as a middle of the pack pass defense, as a ragtag group that has just been thrown together during training camp. Let's keep in mind, these guys who are playing, they weren't even there to start training camp.
Papa, they're only that because they can run on their ass.
That's a good point. Now that is a good point.
Come on, man.
is that teams don't have to throw?
If they felt like lighting them up like a Christmas tree, they would. But if you throw the ball, 2 out of 3 things happen that are bad. If you run the ball, a lot of good happens. Rarely do you fumble the ball. And if a team can't actually defend the run, you're going to eat up the clock. You're going to keep the other team's offense off the field, all those things. And that's why the Dolphins secondary hasn't been completely tested, because you don't have to test it. All you have to do is run on them and you'll chew up the clock, and it's just more beneficial for your team. We don't think that way here in Miami, but, normal NFL teams, they look at it and say, oh, we can run. Our guy, when he's busting out runs, he's like, nah, let's just get back to passing the midgets, so it's a different ball game here in Miami compared to what they play around the league. So that's really your answer why the secondary hasn't really been trashed completely.
Yeah, I think that's little people, Big O. And the Dolphins have Darren Waller now. So
when he wants to use him. When he wants to use him, because I'm not buying the BS in the second half. I've seen this too much, where you're using somebody and all of a sudden they disappear and you stop using them, and like, yo, what happened here? Like, what are you doing? You were punishing them with the run and you stopped all of a sudden. What is this? I don't get this. And so this is just the norm.
Yeah. No, I mean, there was no excuse with how Darren Waller was lighting up the Panthers to then have no targets in the second half, for him to do all that production and it only be in the first half. But I think we had started this on Justin Herbert and him not fulfilling his responsibilities as soon as the excuse machine starts ramping up, where you don't see Tua get this same level of whatever you want to call it, Tua has a banged up offensive line. You don't give him anything, any leeway off of that. Good. Yeah, Justin Herbert, as soon as he's losing his tackles and all of a sudden he's not performing up to snuff, then everyone starts bringing that up. He's got a nice receiving core now, where there were a couple of years where, Tua has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, so everyone wanted to throw that into the comparison, while Justin Herbert, granted, he had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, a lot of them often, hurt and whatever, but right now he's got Quentin Johnson looking good, Ladd McConkey, and Keenan Allen, so he's got weapons. Now he's got the 2 running backs down, so now it's gonna be new faces again running all over this Dolphins defense, and Hassan Haskins, Kamani Vidal, probably a little combination of them two. I think the Dolphins are going to go into this now and and come in with a focus on getting back to tackling. I think there was a shift in when they fell in love with punching the ball out. No, I mean like seriously tackling, whereas before they were falling in love with punching the ball out after they worked for 3 fumbles against the Jets. They were going for the ball and instead of form tackling. So you kind of got to find that balance of, yeah, we got to tackle first, punch the ball out when we got a shot at it. So I think now they got to find that balance again, and it should help them get it back better. But at the end of the day, this is still the last ranked run defense in the NFL. So the Chargers are probably going to get theirs up front, and it'll be a matter of how much they can contain it.
Why is it that this coach has a problem implementing players into it? They give you a big receiver. He's nowhere to be found. They give you the tight end, and he's kicking ass, and then all of a sudden he disappears in the second half. These are targets that can help your quarterback in a big-time way. You can't just depend on the small receiver. You got to get the bigger ones involved, and that's the reason why they brought him in here. And it's just, this guy got 9 touchdowns with no quarterback last year on a terrible team, and he's doing absolutely, what does he have, 3 catches so far this year? You know, I don't understand how you can't get these guys involved consistently to complement Waddle and most of all complement your quarterback.
Yeah, what does Westbrook Akina have? It is
3 catches?
4. He got up to 4. Yeah, no, but that's inexcusable as a guy who he caught 9 touchdown passes with the Tennessee Titans last year, the team that had the number 1 pick. So, and then you bring him onto a situation where, okay, now he can be the taller receiver. He's 6'2". Obviously, he can make plays in the red zone like he did in Tennessee. So he complements Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And then, you know, while you do have Tyreek Hill, you're not getting him involved at all. And this was before you had Darren Waller. So now you have Darren Waller. So now he's your big pass catcher at 6'6". And now Tyreek Hill is out. And then still nothing from him. So, yeah, I mean, it's mind-boggling to not get NWI involved. And that Malik, for his 4 catches to be 0 yards total. It's everything underneath. You know, get him going in some way. They didn't go to him in any of those sweep runs or any of that this past week. So that was something that they had worked in whenever they were running the football. They had worked in Malik Washington coming on the end around. So then the defense at least has to be weary of that, so that then you can go pound it with Ollie Gordon once they're kind of like watching. Okay, is Malik Washington coming around, and you have those counters, and then they didn't go to that at all this past game. So. Between those two, it's really mind-boggling. You know, I do give him credit that Darren Waller right away got heavily involved. Then he gets shut out in the second half of this past game. So I think it'll be another emphasis again. And Darren Waller should see another uptick in snaps after he went from 16 to 32. I think he'll get a little bit more again. But he mentioned that he'll be dealing with the South Florida heat and humidity for the first time himself, after he played on Monday night at home and then played in Carolina.
Well, I mean, he could get in more snaps, but will they use him? I mean, can they find him on the field? I mean, does he know how to drop some plays to get him freed up? Well, we shall find out. Does Cedric Wilson play this week?
He's come back to practice. I would lean no, just because he just started getting a couple.
One more week, right? One more week.
Yeah, I would lean another week. You know, we'll find out later today what he's actually designated as, if it's questionable, if it's doubtful. But I would lean no, because he's just coming off this whatever minor knee cleanup procedure he had, and you probably want to give him more time than 1 week to get going.
Will this moron have more than 2 running backs active? I don't understand this. Really don't understand this, man. Don't get it.
I think that depends a lot on how many injured players will take up the inactives. So last week they were just so healthy that they had to find more healthy scratches, and that was how they had to make up their 5 inactives when they didn't elevate anyone. So
man, that's risky. That's super risky.
It is. But
I get it when you have no. I get it when you don't emphasize the running game.
Yeah.
Why do you need running backs?
Yeah, because Ollie Gordon was the number 2, and he only carried 3 times. So
right. So you're not going to use running backs anyways, and you're going to wear out the only 142-pound running back that you have. Yeah, I mean, why? I get it. Here's Chris Brooks. Nah, don't need him. Here's Ollie Gordon. Nah, don't need him. Nah, big backs. Nah, move the pile. Nah, punish people. Nah, wear them down. Nah, we're not interested in any of that here in Miami.
Yeah, and Ollie Gordon finished with negative rushing yards too. So if they do go with 2, I could even see maybe this is a week where they flip back to Jalen Wright. I don't know how they're doing in practice. We don't get to see all that. So I would say it could be up in the air if Jalen Wright's having a strong week of practice, bouncing back from being an inactive, then maybe. But
that's a big assumption on your part because Darren Waller was having a huge half. They didn't use him in the second half. I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah,
that doesn't fly with I saw him having a huge half running the ball against the Bills, and then they stopped, and a huge half against the Ravens, and a huge half against the Packers, and then all of a sudden he said, "Yeah, I don't need to run anymore." Why? I'm averaging 7 yards a carry. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah,
I don't know. I have no trust with this man. No trust whatsoever with this man.
No, and it's wearing thin for a lot of people, obviously. I mean, even the most stern supporters of Mike McDaniel right now are losing faith, and it happens quickly when you start and you get blown out. It's already a hot season going in, and then you get blown out week 1. You lose at home week 2 to the Patriots. So now all of a sudden you're saying, okay, well, now we're falling behind the Patriots in the division when at least what you always had was that you were the number 2 team under Mike McDaniel in the AFC East. So now the Patriots have just passed you. They're beating you in your house in a 1 p.m. early season kickoff. Like New England Patriots coming from up north are never supposed to beat you early in the season at home. And even when they had Tom Brady and you were at your lowest of lows, you would half the time win that game. So you lose that one. You fall to 0-3 at Buffalo. And then just when you think maybe they're turning it around, you go into Carolina, you start up 17-0, and you still lose that game. I mean, that's just gut-wrenching. And, I know Stephen Ross wants to be patient, but patience can wear thin. If let's say they get blown out this week, I think it's the next either blowout loss or a loss to a bad team, then you got to really be on the verge of making a decision if you're Steve Ross at that point.
Is it Steve Ross? Because it seems like the kids are involved. And is there real urgency? Because, bro, they make so much money off that property. And it's not like people are going to boycott the team and not going to go and all that. And you can put up your tickets for sale. The opposing team's fans will buy them anyway because we're a destination place. We start looking at everything going on because, we hear fans say silly shit like, oh, Ross needs to sell. That's not going to happen, bro. That property is a gold mine with the F1, with the Canes, with all the concerts, with the hospital, with the tennis tournament. It is sick the amount of money that they are producing from that property. So to me, you're not showing me urgency by getting rid of Mike McDaniel. It seems to me like maybe some of these kids really might be getting involved now that Stephen Ross might be passing it on. What do you think is going on?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, as Stephen Ross gets older, then, that would be the natural progression. You're hearing their names more whenever this is discussed. So, yeah, of course. And Stephen Ross is a businessman first. Let's not forget that. Yes, when he makes statements and when he stands up and takes the microphone at Dolphins Cancer Challenge and says, that they want to bring a Super Bowl, and the one time since I've been on the beat, or since Brian Flores was fired, and he did his one interview with the media that I've been a part of. That the one other interview I could recall is preseason team-led telecast where he did say, okay, Super Bowl is the expectation or something to that effect. So, he puts on the face of, yes, wanting to improve, wanting to see the team reach new heights. But, of course, hey, it's business first. So I do find it interesting that whenever we hear these reports, it's been Ian Rappaport that said this first going into the Thursday night game against Buffalo. And then this week, Jeremy Fowler, is they both mentioned he wants to be patient. But one thing that could change it is if the fans stop showing up to the game, because now you're affecting the bottom line. Now you're affecting the bottom line. But and now you had this perspective here where the Dolphins fans, hey, for better or worse, if there's one Miami sports fan base where they are loyal, because this Dolphins fan base has been through so much. Thick and thin. Yeah, you talk about they've been through the worst these past 25 years,
and they still show up. They show up, and they're all liars too. You go, oh no, I'm not. I'm going to give up on the team. I'm not going to watch them. You're a liar. You'll be back
every Sunday.
You'll be watching. You'll be hooked. You'll be who we're getting in the draft. I'm going to go to training camp. I'm watching preseason. They're all liars, and so that's why. And they know it. There's no urgency, dude. At least for me, the ownership shows no urgency on the winning side because they're making money, dude. They're making money like crazy.
But boys, start to think. Let's say if this has an impact on season tickets going down the road, because think about if you're a season ticket holder, you paid whatever upfront price from the start that you got to pay, and then let's say you find out that what they're going for each game on the secondary market is pennies on the dollar, like $30 to get into the Monday night game against the Jets. Then and if this team keeps falling that way and the games down the road, second half of the season at home are going for those kind of dollars amounts, and you're saying, why am I spending 3 times or whatever on season tickets when people on the secondary market decide hours before kickoff on Sunday morning, get out of bed, check StubHub and see, I can go for $35. All right, let's do it.
Exactly. Yeah,
if you start on the back end where season ticket holders start to say, then, now you're fucking Stephen Ross's bottom line if all that happens.
We'll see. All right, what do you got going on the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, going into this game against the Chargers, I'm going to be previewing it with the storyline of Kenneth Grant and Jonas Avayanaya. They're struggling as rookies in their first 5 games and got to turn it around. This was one thing that I said it could save this regime, even if they did. I would say it on here. Even if the Dolphins don't reach a playoff appearance or a playoff win, like some would say was needed to save the regime, I was saying, well, hold on. If they're still competitive and the rookie class is showing promise, that's one thing. But right now, it's not going that way. So, spoke to both of those players this week and their coaches as well. So I'm going to go in with that angle about that the top 2 round picks need to start turning it around if this team is going to.
Yeah, they'll eventually turn it around. I'm not worried about that. It takes a while sometimes for rookies. That's just kind of the way it is. The problem is too many people wanted to put those rookies as saviors. This was a bad team from the get-go. I warned everybody about this. This was not ever a playoff team. And unfortunately, too many fans and media members put it in a position where the rookies had to come through to, be an impactful team. And that's just unrealistic, bro. It's just unrealistic. And on top of all that, add that guy on the sidelines. That guy doesn't adjust. That guy just can't counter people. It's the weirdest thing in the world. So that when you have a bad coach, that just kind of, it gives your team a real disadvantage. And unfortunately, on game day, I think that's what Mike McDaniel does. He gives them a disadvantage. But it is what it is. All right, we will catch you on Sunday afternoon, my friend, fresh from the locker rooms. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good weekend.
You got it. Welton Rheaume. They are absolute ass kickers. Unlike the Dolphins, they are big-time winners. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. They have helped so many South Floridians and Floridians be winners in fighting these cases. So if you're dealing with the bankruptcy, if you're dealing with homeowner property damage, maybe you've got some personal injury, something like that, a business owner claim, call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. The consultation is completely free. So you can explain your situation. They'll tell you if you have a case. By the way, if you have any kind of damage to your home, your business, they have their own adjusters. Never, ever, ever call the insurance companies. I know that sounds weird, right? No. You call Welton Rheaume. They send their adjusters. They assess the problem, and then they call the insurance company on your behalf. And trust me, when the insurance company gets the call first from a lawyer and not from us, man, they get their full attention. It's a whole different ballgame. When we call the insurance company, they're laughing at us on the other side because they know they can take advantage of you and me. With Jeff and Dan, no way, baby. You've got the bookend tackles that you deserve. So if you live here in Florida, South Florida, Treasure Coast, West Coast, 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rheaume, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rheaume can help.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rheaume can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Slowman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Slowman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Manny Navarro. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good. Oh, got myself a new microphone, new headset. I'm debuting it today on your show, man. I've had that old ragged thing for a couple years now. I had to replace it, so I'm happy to have my new equipment, man.
I was about to order lunch again, but you don't have the mic anymore, so you're not manning the drive-through anymore. So it's all right. So it's all good in the hood. Hurricanes enjoying the week off. What's a week off for the Canes? What is the routine for the team?
Well, look, they play Friday night next week, so it's a day earlier than normal. So normally on Sunday, you're doing a lot of the, healing, checking on the body, seeing who's going to be available to practice, working out. That's going to, I guess, happen on Saturday now. So they will be in the building back on Saturday. Right now, the coaches went out early this week to visit with recruits all over the country, people that
Hold on a second. No. They're doing recruiting during their off week.
Oh, yeah.
Real coaches go out with their 24-year-old girlfriends on their off week, bro. I don't know.
Not Mario's coaches.
I don't know what kind of program you're covering, buddy. But in North Carolina,
right,
they go out with their piece of
do
ass for the week, bro. I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes. And by the way, they turn off their phones.
They
Can't
do.
get in contact with me. Nope. I'm sure Mario did that all week, right?
Yeah, not quite. Mario was on his phone all week. He was doing interviews, doing press stuff earlier in the week, and now his staff is all over the country.
With the wife, just disappear to Rome for a week with the wife. We're 5-0.
No golfing, none of that stuff.
No.
Nope. Self-scouting, a lot of self-scouting. Mistakes that they're making on penalties, things that they're So yeah, but they'll be back in the building Saturday. I'm sure watching some games, watching some Louisville film, and working ahead. They're serious about this thing.
Are you expecting a tough nut to crack with Louisville?
I think of the 7 remaining teams that they have, I think Louisville, Pittsburgh, and SMU are the 3 toughest opponents. So I think this is, on paper anyway, one of the tougher remaining games. Does that mean Miami shouldn't still kick Louisville's ass? I think they should. I think they should.
Well, they're more physical than Louisville, from what I've seen. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think Louisville's not as good offensively as they've been in years past. I think Miller Moss and Isaac Brown and Chris Bell are a nice little trio, but I think they're not as potent as some of the other teams Jeff Brom has had in the past.
Okay. All right. So, interesting week for the Canes, where they had a 2027 recruit reclassify for 2026. So, what's all that convoluted stuff mean?
Well, remember Malachi Tony was supposed to still be in high school this year?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now you just had another kid do the Malachi Tony, who was supposed to finish high school a year from now. Kenton Dobson, who's a 4-star cornerback, a star at Miami Norland High School. He's been committed to Miami since March, and it had been trending this way, but he finally got all the paperwork done. He's reclassified into the 2026 class, which means he will be at Miami early to start his career, just like Malachi Tony did. And
so are these kids also really good students? Is that what they're doing also? Is that why?
Well, I would say this. These are kids that are motivated to start their playing careers. These are kids that are highly motivated and driven to
I thought they did something academically to shorten that.
Well, you have to work extra, right? You have to take summer classes and night classes and all that extra stuff.
So then we're talking about so then these are kids that their heads are screwed up, because if he's anything like Malachi Tony, holy shit! All right, this is awesome. You're getting actually a kid that can play football and has a head on his shoulders. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
and
that.
that's what counts here in the long run. And look, Miami, their secondary, we've talked about it all season, right? What a huge improvement we've seen from that group. Obviously, it helps when you've got one of the best pass rush tandems in the country, putting pressure on the quarterback. But those guys also haven't had many mental mistakes or mental breakdowns, right, in coverage. We've seen that eliminated. But there's a lot of seniors in this group. Keontae Scott, Jacoby Thomas is another guy. Safety up there. Zechariah Poyser's technically draft eligible. If he wants to leave after this year, he could. But, you've got guys that you have to keep restocking the shelves. And they've got 5 4-star cornerbacks committed and 1 4-star safety. So this might be the best DB class in the country right now on paper when you look at it and how deep it is. Obviously, offensive line is another huge area Mario is focused on. They got 6 offensive linemen, including the best one in the country. So, right now things are paying off. And on the recruiting trail, the 2027 kids are super excited about Miami. And so
that Jackson kid comes in next year.
Yeah, he will be your starting
lineman, the Jackson kid that was like the number 1 recruit or whatever the hell it was.
That's the plan. Jackson Cantwell will come in. He'll replace Francis Maui-Noa, who will leave early for the first round of the NFL draft. You need to replace Inez Cooper. So you'll probably have one of the veteran kids here that's been a backup slide into one of those slots that's been kind of waiting his turn. Potentially Samson Okunlola, who you've seen play a whole lot of left guard this year. Right. You're going to have to replace the left tackle. They could have Joel Irvin, the kid they've got out of Fort Myers that they're super excited about, come in and play as a true freshman as well. So, this is this is turning into a machine, brother. This is turning into a one guy leaves, next dude walks in, and you feel like you're not going to have much of a drop off.
Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. All right, so who are the coaches visiting this week, my brother?
Yeah, a little spread out all over the place, and gonna give credit to Gabby Urrutia, who he's the one that covers all this recruiting stuff and some of the stuff they've reported over there at 247. So credit to Gabby, who does a fabulous job. No, he doesn't. He listen. Mario doesn't sleep, so he can't sleep. He's covering the recruiting like a maniac.
Like he's all over the place for all that recruiting stuff, and it's like, dude, like, do you have a life? I mean, I know he's married and he just had a child. I'm like, does he know them?
Yeah.
Does he know his wife? Does he know
he's got two children now. Gabby has two children.
Does he know who they are? I'm just saying.
Yeah. He sees them on the way out.
Is he like John Gruden telling the beat writers in Tampa, oh, yeah, it's your son's birthday? Yeah, which one? It's the middle one.
No, Gabby's a great dad. And
yeah, it's the middle one. So I'm just wondering, is he got John Gruden type?
Yeah,
the middle one.
He's working just as hard as Mario for sure. But no, they look, coaches Corey Heatherman, Will Harris off to Orlando, talked to some guys that Miami's trying to flip. Edge rusher DeAnthony Lafayette, guy who's been committed to LSU for a while, and then Aiden Pouncey, a safety who's been committed to Notre Dame from Winter Park High School. They're up there trying to flip those guys. Jason Taylor went up to Atlanta. He's been in Georgia. Met with Bryce Perry Wright, a Texas A&M commitment, and Dre Quinn, who's uncommitted. Both of those guys are Buford High School. I went to Buford a couple years ago. I mean, that doesn't even look like a high school. It looks like a college campus. This place up there in Buford, Georgia. A ton of kids come out of school every single year. Another guy
that from Lafayette, a guy named Lafayette from Lafayette, Louisiana.
No, he's at Lake Nona High School in Orlando. So Heatherman and Will Harris went to Orlando.
He's named Lafayette. He's committed to Louisiana that has a city named Lafayette, but he's in Florida.
And he's in Florida, right? That's the way it works.
Okay, all right. On my way that I was driving to the Super Bowl once to Dallas, when the Super Bowl was last in Dallas, they had the ice and all that for that week. It was like, I don't know, what was it? 10, 12 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. It was ridiculous how bad it was up there, right?
Oh, yeah. It was so ridiculous that the mayor said, no, we don't want to put salt on our roads because it might, do damage to our roads.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're doing it like every day there. They do it in the Northeast all the time. They do it, sweetheart, because there were cars sliding all over the place because you didn't want to put salt. And, I saw cars crashing and everything into walls because they were just like gliding. But anyway, long story short, on the way to the Super Bowl, I stop in Lafayette, Louisiana. I stop at a Sonics. Okay. And I shit you not, the guy taking care of us was an Asian dude, and his name tag said Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah. And I took a picture of it. I go, bro, I got to take a picture of you. You mind? And he goes, no. And I took a picture of him because I ran into an Asian dude working at a Sonics in Lafayette, Louisiana named Bruce Lee. That's it, bro. It's like I have seen it all.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
So every time I go to Lafayette, Louisiana, I think
of Bruce Lee.
I think of an Asian dude named Bruce Lee out of Sonics. Just,
what a wonderful country we have, right?
Just amazing.
Diversity.
All right, so any other studs they're visiting this week and closing?
Well, some of their own guys, right, that have been committed. Israel Briggs, the tight end, the 4-star tight end out of California, got to go out there and play a little defense, right? Camden Porton, Clinton Portis' son, over in North Carolina. They're going over there to spend some time with him. So on the offensive and on the defensive during the bye week, which is weird. It's not often you have a bye week, big game, bye week. But that's the way the schedule turned out for Miami in this case this season. So, 2 weeks of on-the-road recruiting for Mario Cristobal's guys who obviously never sleep, just like Gabby.
By the way, are they trying to steal any players from North Carolina, or they're not good enough?
Yeah, I haven't seen them on any North Carolina guys. I wouldn't expect them to.
How crazy is the stuff going on in North Carolina? And then, Mike Lombardi, who's a complete joke, goes out and oh no, we're gonna bring in a bunch of freshmen next year and all that. I don't know what he said, 30, 40 freshmen, whatever it was. And I'm thinking, do you guys know how college football works nowadays? Like what you've done now, no parent, no player will want to be a part of what you're doing right now. You know what I mean? You won't have enough money in your NIL coffers for these players as it is, because they could get the money everywhere else and they don't have to deal with your BS. Like, I don't think if they don't let them go this year, I don't think they realize how much worse it's actually going to get next year.
Right. Yeah, you fall behind even further. And look, it's not easy. What he took over there wasn't a bad program. Mac Brown had him at least in a bowl game.
Right.
But they came in with this mindset of, oh, we're just gonna walk into college football and beat these guys at their game, because it is an entirely different game. And it was a level of arrogance that was just hysterical to me. And they were taking guys from places you're like, what? Holy Cross? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're taking dudes from all over the place that don't really fit North Carolina, right? And fit what they're used to playing, like those kids in that area and what your background. So I don't know what they're doing. I just know it's a mess, and they've been absolutely destroyed. I think they're giving up 40 points a game against Power 4 programs. That does not bode well.
Yeah. I
Going
mean,
forward.
oh God. That WRAL stories that are coming out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Pat, what's the guy's name? Welter, he's making a career out of this one, bro, because he was able to just unearth a ton of stuff. And God, I just it's too funny to see what's going on. They'll fire him this year, right? They'll buy him out, right?
Well, as my colleagues at The Athletic, Stuart Mandel and Ralph Russo, who've been doing this for a long time, probably as long as I have, if not longer, have said, they essentially pushed Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director, aside in bringing in Bill Parcells. The rich people at that school that helped fund this entire movement pushed him aside. How often do rich, arrogant people admit that they're wrong? Oh,
never.
So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they do up there and whether or not they admit this was a mistake and that they need to hit the reset button and go get a college guy who is going to know what buttons to push. And there's some good ones out there. Go look at the G5s. Look at that Alex Golish guy at USF, right? I mean,
you find some guys, of course, dude.
Yeah,
man.
There's some dudes that know what they're doing. So but they wanted to go get Bill Belichick, and I get it. You have rich friends in high places and that kind of stuff, and he's obviously angling to get his son in a good spot, but it's obvious building an NFL team is entirely different than building a college one.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. They are the 33rd NFL team.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, that's here's where you and I got it wrong. We're criticizing this guy like he's here to compete with. He's not here to compete with college. He's here to be the 33rd NFL team, is what it is. So now we know how the 33rd NFL team looks like. There you go. So
yeah,
it's just this does for me, like it for the people that had him as the GOAT. This will knock him from that perch of the GOAT, where people will say, well, no, hold on a second, bro. Joe Gibbs did it with 3 different quarterbacks and 3 different championships. And Don Shula did it with 4 different quarterbacks from Unitas, Greasy, Woodstock, and Marino went to Super Bowls, at least with different quarterbacks. Bill Walsh was building it with, with Steve Young also after that. And, you start thinking of all the other coaches who started doing it. And, that whole thing about giving him the whole thing about the GOAT stuff, people are now going to start saying, well, no, hold on, bro. Andy Reid went to the Super Bowl and several NFC championship games with Philly, and then went to Kansas City and developed more quarterbacks and won titles. I'm more impressed with that than what I am with what Bill Belichick has done, because of the Brady thing going to Tampa and now this disaster. It shows that outside of that one shell of time with Brady, he doesn't have any other success on his own at all.
Yeah. And what does it say that Brady went to Tampa right afterward and still won a Super Bowl? What does that say to you? right?
He's the ultimate eraser.
Right. He had Michael Jordan. At least Phil Jackson went to LA and won with the Lakers, right?
Well, Phil proved that he can manage egos.
Right.
So he had two sets of egos in LA and in Chicago, and he blended them all together. And to his credit, bro, I give Phil credit in that sense. You know what I mean? I will always be more of a Riley than a Phil guy because Riley built and coached. So it's different for me. He carried more of the load, whereas Phil didn't build these teams. He inherited these teams, and God bless him. But he was an expert at managing very Joe Torre-like.
Right.
Joe Torre wasn't a great manager outside of the Yankees, right? But when he was with the Yankees, he was a great manager of egos and characters and all of that, and handling the media and all that. Nobody's really, since Joe, really had the magic of managing everything. If
you had to rank the five greatest NFL coaches, who's in your top five?
Joe Gibbs is number one.
Okay.
Joe Gibbs is number one in my book because he won 3 championships with 3 different head coaches. With 3 different quarterbacks, none of them Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes to NASCAR. And by the way, he came back for Daniel Snyder and still made the playoffs.
Right.
Okay. So to do that with that cancer, nobody was doing anything with that cancer. So Joe Gibbs for me is right up there. Bill Walsh, Andy Reid, Don Shula. I'm going to put those guys in front of Belichick, actually, because I saw them do it with just more than one quarterback, do it with more than just one run of teams, that kind of deal. I have to give those guys more credit. Belichick gets knocked down now a little bit because of what's happened at the end of the Patriot run, what happened with him in Cleveland, and then now what's happening with him in North Carolina. I have to hold it against you, dude. I have to hold it against you. Whereas Don Shula got to the Super Bowl with Johnny Unitas and he got to the Super Bowl with Woodstock.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. To me, it's the greatest coaches are guys that can adapt and win different ways. That's always what it comes down to. You can win with defense some years. You can win with offense some years. You can win with different quarterbacks, whatever. And same thing in the NBA, right? You can win with 3-point shooting. You can win playing defensive. It's just the way that you are able to adapt to the talent that you have year in and year out.
Like Chuck Noll was great, but he had one group of guys that were just absolutely dominant. And so we never saw him do anything else with any other teams but those teams. So I can't put him in the area of some of these other coaches that I got to see him have to coach other teams and have success with those other teams. You know what I mean? And I never saw Belichick do what Andy Reid did in Philadelphia without Brady.
Right.
So I can't put you in Andy Reid's category right now. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. It's insane. All right. What do you got going on in the Athletic so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, I got my oddly specific predictions for the week in. Obviously, the Canes are not playing this week, so I took a look at a bunch of other games going on around the country. Big weekend. Oh, especially the 12 o'clock hour tomorrow. Tonight, you got USF playing at an unbeaten North Texas team. So if you're looking for a Friday night game to turn on while you're eating pizza and drinking beer, whatever it is you do on a Friday night, that'll be a good one. I think the Bulls are a 1-point favorite going into that game. Should be a good one because it's for the top of that American Athletic Conference and as well as a potential playoff spot. And then tomorrow you got Alabama, Missouri. You've got Indiana, Oregon in the 3:30 hour. Busy schedule, bunch of good games. Texas A&M is hosting Florida, who just pulled off the upset. Texas A&M's 5-0 and number 5 in the country. So should be a good slate of games to sit down and watch on Saturday.
Good stuff. As always, appreciate you, my brother. And don't forget the Big Cheese, proud sponsor of our program. And we love Gary. Billy and Gary started this over 40 years ago. It is an institution. And check out the walls when you walk in because it's loaded with Hurricanes memories. The pasta shipped from Italy and it's cooked fresh daily. And you get family size servings. So you will walk away full. And they've got garlic rolls there that are to die for. Check it out. Go to the Big Cheese, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, and tell them that Big O sent you. Manny, we will catch up next week, my friend, as the Canes get back into the mix, and we'll have some fun in the Louisville game on Friday night. Appreciate you.
Sounds great, brother. Talk soon.
You got it. There you go, Manny Navarro, and our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
All right. By the way, Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Let me read 2 Venmos because I saw the Venmo after the show, and I'm sorry, yesterday. So he said, we need a person in the front office with a vision of toughness that will enforce the vision down the chain to the product on the field. Don't expect it to happen. And it's interesting that you said that because that's what I talked about this offseason, that Chris Greer has to stop catering to his coaches. And I think he did that this entire offseason. And he kind of let us in on a little secret or a little nuance to the whole thing where he said, sometimes I listen too much to my coaches. And I think that was important. When you saw, excuse me, a little stuffed. When you saw the draft, guard, defensive tackle, big running back, free agency, went and got a big receiver, all these things. And it was Mike McDaniel-like. And one of the things I talked about is that he needed to draft players that can translate to multiple schemes and a physical nature. And that's kind of what you saw in this draft, a physical nature to it. Anyway, Stephen Baker says, until we get a person in the front office with a vision and toughness and able to enforce it down the chain. So he sent it twice, and thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for your dedication. You are awesome, and I appreciate your support and your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, Bitcoin is in a dip, 119,527. Sell it all. What are Jonnu Smith's stats so far through 5 weeks? But what can you tell me there? What is the first week? So what is his stats? What does he have? What's he doing?
14 catches, 71 yards, 1 touchdown.
Darren Waller has 8 catches, 105 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jonnu Smith is averaging what per catch?
5.1.
Darren Waller's averaging 13.1. Mm-hmm. Just, because there was a lot of rage when they traded Jonnu Smith. Oh, my God, they traded our Pro Bowl tight end. He had such a great year, catching all those screens and taking off. And so they end up trading Jonnu Smith, and they got rid of Jalen Ramsey. They got Minka back, a 5th rounder, and $6 million saved in cap space. They got criticized, and yet the trade becomes better and better every day. He doesn't re-sign Christian Wilkins. He gets absolutely fried for it. Well, Christian Wilkins is injured, out of the Raiders, and on the street. It ended up becoming a good move. Crazy. I agreed with that move. Now, the waffling move. Robert Hunt. At first, I agreed with them not signing him, but then after we saw the offensive line, we said, well, you got to sign him. Unfortunately, it looks like hindsight is 20/20. You got to pay guards no matter what. Well, now he's out for the year with a pectoral injury right from the beginning of the year. So then that becomes a trade that a move that was criticized, but then it kind of worked out. So we're down to only Van Ginkel. And maybe, you know what I could say, Brandon Jones? But I guess the defensive coordinator didn't feel like it fit because you made a change. He's still starting in Denver. Pretty good defense. But it's interesting how criticized for Wilkins, criticized for Hunt, criticized for Jonnu Smith. All those moves have worked out. They were actually the right moves. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Interesting how time changes the opinion of things. Do me a favor. Give me 30 seconds, please.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
All right. Let's see, Mr. Bull, Greer, 10 years and no playoff wins. He's not in charge for 10 years. So some of you need your facts straight. You got idiots posting that he's hired 3 coaches. He's hired only 2. And I don't even know if he hired the second one. Okay? So, again, try to be accurate. Okay? He's only been in charge during the Flo and now McDaniel year. So this is year 6 or 7, whichever one it is. That's when he's been fully in charge. If you could say he's fully in charge, I'm not exactly sure on the McDaniel hire. I'm really not sure on the McDaniel hire. So, but I mean, listen, whatever floats your boat, if you want, but I mean, at least be accurate. Okay, so technically, he's in charge for the 2 coaches, and he's only hired the 2 coaches. Because I see people talk all the time that he hired 3 and he did not hire 3. Because that would be what, Adam Gase? That was the one before Flo, and he didn't hire Adam Gase. That's just stupid. That's stupid, it's ignorant, and it's misinformation. But hey, there's lots of stuff like that out there. You know, what can I tell you? And then you've got, Mr. Bull saying he's been in charge 10 years, which is inaccurate again. Listen, if you don't like Greer, that's fine, dude. That's you're entitled to it. But at least be accurate about it. He's been around, 6 or 7? I think this is 7. Actually. Because Flo was 3. And then this is 4, right? So 7. And he's hired only, supposedly, these 2 coaches. I know he hired Flo for sure. Still not sure about this one. And by the way, again, if Greer survives, he didn't hire this guy. That's what that tells me. So, but hey, man, forget about accuracy. What the hell? Speaking of lack of accuracy, Solana reaches out to me yesterday on Twitter. He goes, hey, if you're going to call me a clown, at least get the show right. It's Hawk, Crowder, and Solana. So he wanted to make sure that and I tell him, first of all, you are a clown, but I didn't call you a clown. I said, you guys are soft or weak for avoiding the truth. When you said, oh, I know we try to avoid doom and gloom. And that's what I was taking a shot at, because you can't avoid doom and gloom. It comes with the territory. If you avoid it, then you're lying to people. You're not telling them what you really feel is happening. You know what I'm saying? So that was part of it. But again, which is great when it comes to inaccurate and misinformation, Solana probably took somebody's word for it from the chat board, didn't hear it, didn't go for. They put a video out there of it? Okay. Okay. Right, but I wasn't calling, but I was, but I wasn't calling him a clown. No, I never said a clown. I said it's weak and soft to avoid doom and gloom. Oh, we try to avoid doom and gloom. That was the quote that
You're not allowed to make fun. You're not allowed to talk about people, because then you're making fun of them. You're calling them.
Right, exactly.
That's
Exactly. So, but typical Solana, of course, and the show, just, half-ass, inaccurate, all that. So that's the part that I tripped out on, that I was laughing, that Solana comes back at me with misinformation, which is typical coming from Solana. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I get it. So, no, Solana, I love you, brother. Okay? Much love. I got nothing but love for you guys. But in sports, it's a free-for-all. We're going to call you out. That's all. Simple in fact. Oh, we're going to avoid doom and gloom. That's just a load of shit. That's all it is. So, what else do we have? Well, Mr. Bull, you got your information from Wikipedia. This is why, you know what? Block this guy. Block him. There you go. You're gone. There you go. That's why you're an idiot. You're the idiot that follows Wikipedia and Facebook. There you go. So go find another email if you want to chat in here. So when you want to say stupid things, I can just eliminate you and just get rid of it. That's all. So see you later, my brother. You get your information from Wikipedia. Do you also get it from Alejandro Solana too? Yes, sir.
All right, so Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel speaking said Senator Aaron Brewer's status still unknown, but he's hopeful. Dotson and Campbell are out. He said it's different. Sorry, hold on.
So Dotson's out. Terrell Dotson for sure with the concussion is going to be out. That's expected.
And Elijah Campbell.
Okay.
And hopeful on Aaron Brewer with the pec.
Okay.
The TUA hip injury is not the same hip he injured last season, but it's the same hip as the Alabama injury, but different injury. It's not from the thing there.
But he went to practice.
He will be playing Sunday. He will be.
Yeah, he went through practice. It's not a big deal.
We're just talking about the injury there.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Anyway, what else do we have? Okay, am I the only one that loves when crushes and blocks stupid people? It's fantastic that you don't tolerate stupidity. Yeah, I mean, the moron says I get my information from Wikipedia. That's it, bro. It's like, yeah, I don't need your stupid ass around. Who puts in the information in Wikipedia? Morons like that, like Mr. Bull. It doesn't matter. I think I glanced and I saw some other moron. Oh, he's been in the building since 2000. Whoever put it in there. So what? That doesn't matter. Again, forget it. It's not even worth it. It's just not even worth it. Just move on. Let's go to 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. The great Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. If your company, corporation, school, you need some custom printing and embroidery, any kind of uniforms, hats, or shirts, or anything like that, reach out to Alan Blanco. They do exceptional work. 786-618-1443. The Panthers, they do it again last night, 2-1. Anton Lundell and Brad Marchand with the game winner. Man, that slap shot was nasty, bro. Nasty. Cats really should have scored 3, 4, 5 more goals, man. They had lots of opportunities. Kulikov got injured yesterday. That's the only thing that sucked yesterday. Saturday, they're back in action. They end their 3-game homestand against Ottawa, and then they go on a 5-game road trip. So Monday, they'll be in Philly to start off that 5-game road trip. NFL action, the Giants shocked the Eagles. 34-17, improved to 2-4. Philly drops to 4-2. Scatterbo with 3 touchdowns in the game. Saturday, 7:30, Chase Stadium. Inter Miami will host Atlanta United. Fort Lauderdale United is off this week. Next week, they wrap up their 3-game road trip. They're in Lexington, 2:00 game. You can catch it on Peacock. This Saturday, Louisville City FC will host Miami FC, 7:30. And the University of Miami football team is off this week. Back in action Friday against Louisville, who's 4-1. Miami is 5-0. Sunday, we'll get you ready for the Dolphins and the Chargers at 1:00. Pregame will start off at 11:30. Chargers now, by the way, the Athletic Jeff George and the Chargers are now favored by 3.5. It opened up at 5.5, all the way down to 3.5. Over and under is 43.5. Dolphins plus 175 on the money line. Chargers minus 210 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Let's see, what else do we have? Big O Show, where other Dolphin podcasters gather their information anonymously. Yeah, but some of them aren't gathering the right information if they're saying that Greer hired 3 coaches or if they've been around for 20 years or 10 years running the place, So if they're getting their misinformation, they're not getting it from here, that's for sure. JD Rodriguez, you are right. Greer does sponsor this podcast. Over the table, not under the table. Over the table. Don't you have a Greer billboard coming up? Okay. You'll see the Chris Greer billboard coming up. It's going to have a QR code and everything. Yep. What do you got?
You asked earlier, Cedric Wilson will be available against the Chargers. Storm Duck will be listed as questionable.
Quank.
He hasn't had any setbacks since returning from week 1 ankle injury.
I don't know. Is Storm Duck a loss? Are we missing him? I don't know. Has he done anything to say, oh, we're missing him? I mean, he's got a cool name, but I don't know if I'm even missing him in this game. I have no idea. I'm just interested. I'm interested to see if one of the worst secondaries in the world picks off the amazing athletic Jeff George. That's all I'm trying to figure out right now. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you again for the Venmo. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Is defeated before the game starts. He constantly defends his play call by saying the D dictated what we would do. Duh, moron. You're supposed to enforce the O will on the D. Yeah. A lot of D is being thrown around. That's the way she likes it. I'm sorry. Did I say that? I'm sorry. That was wrong. This is just out of place on my part. Anyway, thank you, sir. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. We are here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, and folks, the ADX, what a beautiful sedan that is. $299 a month right now. Take advantage. 4.9% financing for 60 months. The 2025 Integra, $299 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, $419 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you, they will take care of you. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone. Check out the TLX also. 2025 model, $419 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months, man. The deals are amazing. Larry Schlossberg, they're all out here ready to take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Basketball Jones. Greer failed to rebuild. That's what matters. Being smug about the O-line concerns was real professional on his part. Well, that's how it goes. And we will find out in the offseason if they make some changes. But yeah, they were mighty confident about the offensive line last year. And that's where you get burned paying attention to your head coach that doesn't put value in the guards. Where this year, they went and put some value in the guards by drafting one and paying for another in free agency. But what can I tell you? It's a little late in the game to try to save things with a bad coach. This was a bad hire, and there's no other way around it. And no personnel department can save it. They've already given you more talent to win this year. Last year, you should have won 3 to 5 more games. So I've heard Chris Perkins come on our show and say, 2 years ago, it was the most talented roster in 20 years. So your problem is your coaching. We've had a lot of talent come through here. I just think you've had the wrong person kind of put it together. And that obviously has fallen on everybody in the front office and ownership. So we shall see what happens. Hopefully they fire McDaniel, and then we'll see what changes come after that. I have no assessment on Kenneth Grant. None whatsoever. I don't have anything on Savanaya. I don't have anything on Phillips. I didn't have anything on Chop last year when everybody wanted to cut him and thought he was a bust in the first 6 games. It's this, Brett, it's the same stupid shit that goes on with the same dumb-ass fans. There's no other way to say it. Listen, man, you could go listen to radio shows out there that they'll handle you with kid gloves and tell, guys, you should be a little bit more patient. I'll just say you're dumb and ignorant. That's all. That's it. Because you gave up on Chop last year and you look stupid. It's just kind of the way it goes. Players take some time to develop. It doesn't happen overnight. Is Jonah playing well? No. But he's a right guard that has to learn how to play left guard at the highest level. If you didn't think there was going to be a learning curve, then I can't help you. You're not very bright. Sorry. It took Paul Soliak 3 years the third year is when he started to play well. Just happens like that, dude. Austin Jackson had terrible coaching, and he didn't do anything the first 2 years. And then the third year, he turned the corner. Now he's had injury issues, but it's not like he can't play. He can play, but he didn't do anything the first 2 years. First 2 years, he was terrible. We have too many people. I used to have a reporter that used to come on, trashing Jay Ajayi in his rookie year, giving up on him. Gave up on Andrew Van Ginkel. No, he ain't got it. Right? These are rookies, bro. You got to have patience. They're going to show good things. They're going to show bad things. What can I tell you? I see it all the time. I see it with media. I see it with fans. You got to have patience with young players. You got to give them time to grow. And sometimes a young player isn't growing because of the situation they're in. Brandon Jones used to bring on somebody that didn't think he could play. And all I would point out is that every year they would get better and better and better. You got to have patience. So this happens with fans. This happens with media. You give up on young players way too soon. And that's what's going on. It's like they have no memory. Most of the same people that made the mistake with Chop last year are making the same mistake with Jonah Savanaya and with Kenneth Grant. No opinion. I haven't seen enough of a sample size to judge him. What do I say about Cam Ward? Can you judge him? Nope. Can't judge him. Can't judge him. And this is the guy that told you that Cam Ward will struggle early on because of some of the crazy shit that he does. And he'll need to be kind of, brought a little bit more into reality and make those mistakes and all that. But I can't even talk about that with him. Why? He's on a terrible team, dude. He's on a terrible team that's not going to compliment him right now. So he's not going to look good. And I've gotten people that, well, dude, Cam's not looking that good. Well, have you seen the situation he's in? Patience. We cannot give up on young people just like that. It makes no sense whatsoever. Lots of players take some time to figure stuff out. Or they're in the wrong system. They got the wrong coaching. Just different things happen to players. And sometimes it's not all their fault. We like to blame it on them, but it's not all their fault. So anybody that's off Savanaya or Kenneth Grant, they're just being ignorant, dude. That's all. Big O, refresh my memory. Was it Bowens or Gardner or both who struggled here the first year? Gardner was like this. Bowens was solid from the get-go. Gardner was up and down. He would flash, but that was Gardner's problem. He had a motor problem. You knew that when Daryl Gardner wanted to play, it was over. It was over. When Daryl Gardner wanted to blow up a play, you weren't going to do anything about it. You weren't. But he didn't feel like that all the time. Man, that guy was a freak. What a shame. Median fans are too fast to crown a player superstar or a bust in their first few games. Amen. That's it. AVG and Chop have played well since their first game. It's coaching fault. Sometimes it is. So, let's see. Chris Greer's all-pro tackle has his back. Is Patrick Paul already an all-pro tackle? Wow, that's impressive. He has played well. He has that was a pretty good drafted tackle in the second round. But he won't get any credit for that. It's like everybody marvels at Achan, and it's like, hey, that's the same guy you guys are trashing all the Oh, man. Anyway. Let's see. I miss AVG. Yeah, so do I. I hated that one. AVG and the receiver that we lost, Mac Hollins. I would have never gotten rid of Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins, for me, is a perfect third, fourth wide receiver, special teamer, captain, tough guy. For me, I hated that. I hated AVG and Mac Hollins. Those are two moves that I regretted big time. I didn't regret the Rob Hunt move. I didn't regret the Wilkins move. In fact, I completely agreed with the Wilkins move over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, all of you that wanted Wilkins back, you're all dead wrong. Okay? Like, that was the dumbest shit. You want to pay that guy that money when he's not a real pass rusher? Are you kidding me? Forget the injury. He was never a real pass rusher to pay him that kind of money. That's the part that I just never understood from Dolphin fans on that one. They did right on that one. It was a good pick. They milked it, let it go, and move on. But it wasn't that kind of money, Let's see. Big O, who's even out there to fix this mess? Well, we're not there yet. So until they make changes, I'm not even going to bother talking about it because there's no reason to talk about any of that stuff at all. I see the latest controversy with Tua is that they hate the fact that he doesn't have social media, and that, when it's all said and done, he's going to go home to his kids and his wife and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just wondering, what's he ever going to say to make anybody happy? It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he does. When he does something good, it's everybody else is credited for it. When everything goes bad, he's blamed for everything. And because he has his priorities right, your family should be first. Hate to say this, folks. I look forward being with my wife and my dogs and in my house and hang out with my daughter more than being here with you guys. Sorry. And if I could make it happen where I could relax and retire and not do this ever again, I would happily do it. Because I'd rather be with my wife and go hang out and go travel and go do things. So your work is your means to survive. Isn't that his also? Oh, it's supposed to be anything and everything because you say so? So when you go work at the factory, or because you're a teacher, or because you're a car salesman, your entire life is that? You got to have a great day at work, or the rest of your life is not worth it? I'm sorry, is that what you people expect? It's interesting. We want them to sell out like the only thing that matters is that football game, and whether you won or lost, and if you lost, oh, well, no, don't go enjoy your family. Don't go get your therapy that we all need, because I got to tell you something. My dogs are my therapy. It's just, I find it interesting how your bias leads you to stupid criticisms. Corso, we love him. Dumbass comment 2 days ago. Stupid ass comment. Oh, Tua's injured. Oh, he's banged up because he was limited with the hip and the thumb. And then yesterday, a full go. So I said to him, like, what? People can't get banged up in football? Like, Tua's banged up, but he's playing. Meanwhile, half the league is missing their quarterbacks. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow is way more injury prone than Tua ever has been, ever will be. Like, that's how extreme it is with Tua. That you got people like Corso freaking out on just a little limited, which is precautionary stuff, which you do that with every player. But with Tua, it has to be a whole different ballgame. And then now, the whole thing, well, when I get home, I don't have social media. And so we're criticizing him for that? Well, I'm sorry, but if your job is everything and your family is secondary to your job, I don't know. What's our attitude on this show? Family first. Family first. Family first. Anytime he has to do something, bro, there's no questions. Oh, no, hey, no, we need to do this. No, dude, no. No, dude, your daughter's first. Your wife is first. Your father's first. There's no questions. Nothing. Because this is not important. This is a means to survive. And that's what football is. That's what baseball is. That's what basketball is. That's what hockey is. It's their profession. They're not there to be your servant. They're not there to sacrifice everything in life just for your stupid little win. just for your stupid little team, just for your stupid little emotions. Yeah, on this show, we don't worry about kid gloves. And we don't worry about your, since you don't worry about Tua's feelings, why the hell should I worry about yours? So I'll tell you when you sound stupid, since nobody else is going to tell you. But you sound stupid when you go after Tua because his family is his priority. It's what he looks forward to. It's why he signed that big-ass deal, so he can take care of his family. Wouldn't you like to sign a deal for a couple $1 million? What's it for? What's it going to be for? Your family, right? When I collect my Bitcoin, what do I say? It's for my daughter. I love all of this. This is fantastic. It's just it exposes people for what they are. And they have so little humanity in them. It's amazing. So we're going to criticize a man for putting his family first. That's real choice by folks out there. Real choice. Real class. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Damn, I'm starting to get enticed here now. It's down to 118,813 right now. Now it's starting to dip to areas that maybe I want to buy a little bit. Newbie is good for you. That's for sure. Big O, would you say I don't care if I do a good job and try at work? I just care about my family. I mean, would I say I don't care if I do a good job? Well, I don't think anybody says that. I think everybody wants to do a good job. I think Tua wants to do a good job, but he doesn't say he doesn't care. You know what I mean? But your family should be your anchor. What do we got? Steve's there? Oh, I love it. All right, let's bring him aboard. The man, the myth, the legend, Steve Calibro. The wise guy went 3-0 last week. So let's see. Is he there? Do we have him? I don't know. I can't even see him right now. I don't know. Steve, you there? He might need some help with the technical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pull him off the air because who knows? Who knows what Steve is doing behind the scenes? You know what I'm saying? We don't want to expose what's going on there with Steve. See if we get. Oh, there we heard the pop again. Let's see if the incredible Steve Calibro is back with the wise guy picks for Friday. We've been trying to do this segment every week. Here we are. There he is.
Big O. I'm in a monsoon right now.
Oh, yeah? So you got a boat in Jersey again?
No, I'm in Florida.
Oh, okay. Where's it? Because it's not raining. It's not raining at all right here in Pembroke Pines. Where are you at?
So I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah.
En route to Hialeah.
Oh, God.
My thought when I got to the red light was maybe we should have a Noah's Ark soon.
We will. We will. Yes.
In Miami.
Yeah, we will. All right. So, what do we got with the wise guy this week? Because he went 3-0 last week.
I know. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, here we go. I gotta pull.
Oh, you're freezing up. Oh, he's pulling up his phone. Oh, yeah. Steve, you might be better off sending me the text and then we can discuss it or something because you can balance both. I don't even know if he can hear me now. Yeah, pull him out. Pull him out because you never know. you never know. There's some wild stuff that goes on in a Steve Calibro car. We don't want to expose that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what do we have? And let's see. It's pouring rain in Pompano Beach now, says Jay. God, family, work, always, even if you're a pro QB. That's right, Pep. That's right, my brother. You know, it's just it's just crazy that we're going to criticize a dude that has a foundation. Are you jealous or something? You don't have a family to come home to? You know, because when you have a bad day, dude, it's pretty cool to come home, right? Wife gives you a hug, bring your dogs, whatever, see your daughter, I don't know, man. I got to tell you, without them, I'd be lost. I think we got him again. All right, Steve.
There you go. I do apologize. I apologize to your viewers too. I apologize.
It's all good.
But I did check. I guess I can't have this app up and the picks up at the same time, but I've sent them to you.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. There we go. I like that. That's what I was saying. I don't know if you were hearing me. I was saying just send them to me. All right. So the wise guy went 3-0 last week. I just want you to know. So just in case. He is going with the Colts minus 7.5 over the Cards. I like that one, actually. I mean,
I love it.
I mean, it's amazing that we're now that confident with the Colts that they could give 7.5 to anybody. But I mean, yeah, I actually like this one because the Colts are much better than the Cards, and the Cards have proven that their offense under the quarterback Murray, they're just not explosive. They don't score a lot of points. And the Colts have been able to score. So I like that one. Seahawks over the Jags, and the Jags are favored by 1.5. So he's taking the Hawks plus 1.5 in that one. What do you think?
Tough one. That's a tough one. It's away for the Hawks.
Yeah. And the Jags have actually had one hell of a year so far. Pretty lucky win last week. But hey, they got it done and they're finding ways to win. That one kind of scares me. Seahawks at the Jags and the Hawks getting 1.5 points. That one scares me a little bit, but what can I say? The wise guy was hot last week. So who knows? Who knows? All right. And then we got Cowboys over Panthers and the Panthers plus 3. I know the Panthers beat the Dolphins, but the Panthers are terrible. It's hard to trust the Cowboys. That's the only thing I would say to that. But I can see why he would go with that selection.
Yeah, I like this one. I think the Cowboys are going to beat up on the the Panthers. I really do. I think the Panthers are just not that good of a team. The Dolphins are a bad team, and the Panthers are a bad team, and the Dolphins are a little worse, a lot worse.
Yes. As we found out. All right, so those are his 3 picks. Okay, those are his selections. Now he'll throw in a bonus. The bonus doesn't go with the record. Okay, he's just throwing this on the side. It's kind of these aren't his hot picks. Okay, like we just gave you the 3 picks that he loves. All right, but he threw in an extra, and he goes Bengals Packers over 44.5. And I got to tell you, I like it. I like it because Flacco's going to add 14, 17 points, and the Packers are going to light them up for easily 30, 35 points. So I like it.
Yeah.
I like this. I like
that's
this.
They call that a jersey special.
Well, okay. All right.
The jersey special. When he throws in that 4th one, he's just feeling something he wants to give back to your viewers.
Right. And by the way, he gave us a couple of extras last week, and he split on them, so it wasn't a big deal. But he went 3-0 in his main picks last week. So just again, we're not financial advisors, we're not betting experts, we're just following the wise guy. That's it.
Big O, I'm gonna run because at this point, at some point, my running is gonna be swimming.
Yes, go for it.
It's
Go for it. Do
torrential.
your thing.
It's torrential. All right,
do
guys,
your
take
thing,
care.
my brother. We'll catch up on Tuesday,
right.
my friend. Be good. There you go, Steve
Bye-bye.
Calibro. We've got the wise guy picks in one more time. Let me give you the wise guy picks so we can make sure that you all are set up. All right, here we go. Write it down. Now we got it. Colts -7.5 versus Cards. Take the Seahawks +1.5 versus the Jags. And the Cowboys -3 over the Panthers. Okay. And then the bonus, he threw out Bengals and Packers over 44.5. Okay. But don't hold that one against him. It's the first three are his picks. All right. So there you go. And we are here, of course, at Acura Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Come on out here. The ADX, $299 a month, 4.9% financing. The Integra, $299 a month, 3.9% financing. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you, man. Great dealership out here. And they've got also a fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles, too, to check out. So the lot is overflowing. The selection is second to none. So make sure you tell them that Big O sent you here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Let's see, what else do we have? Watch out for the hook by the half point. We can't get together to get the owner fired. GM is the next best thing other than Ross. The buck stops with Greer. Okay, but what if your owner is the one that meddles with who you hire with head coach? Does that become the general manager's fault? I'm just saying. If the owner and the president were maybe behind the hiring of Mike McDaniel, could that be a problem? Because, they were behind going after Brady. They were behind going after Sean Payton. They were behind going after Harbaugh. They're the ones that cost you a first and a third rounder. So are we sure that Greer hired McDaniel? Are we sure? I'm not. You're going to need to fire Greer for me to be convinced that Greer hired him. And if you don't fire Greer, then that smells. And in the end, you can't run an organization like this. The owner is the one that brought in Ndamukong Suh. I mean, how many more things do you need to know? There's a lot of issues. I need to know the truth before I actually react. Those of you out there, you want to react, but you don't know jack shit. It's interesting. You have no facts. You don't know anything, but you want to react. But then I get it. When you have people out there saying that Greer hired 3 coaches, that's a complete lie. You can assume 2, but I'm not even sure about the second one. As I've explained over and over again, Mike McDaniel does not fit anything in Chris Greer's DNA. In Parcells' Belichick regime, brother's a hockey player. First time he becomes the general manager, he gets to hire his coach. He goes and gets a Belichick disciple. And then all of a sudden, he's going to go completely opposite when all he's ever been around are hard asses. Weird. Very weird. Very, very weird. And remember, your owner, okay? Leave it out. Don't forget this. Your owner went after Harbaugh. But then once Harbaugh was part of Michigan, didn't touch him anymore.
So, because it was his move from San Fran at that time, right? This one got through. This one got through the. See, not all of them are. You're not going to get all the calls, but once in a while, one of the bad calls will get through with the new program. So we'll see. We shall see. There's some information I need to know. You know, it's. I don't overreact on rookies like some of you do. I don't play the schedule game like some of you do. You see what happens when you play a schedule game? You look stupid every single time because you have no idea who's good or who's bad. So there are little habits that some of you have and the media has. I don't have those habits. And these are things that before I actually make an assessment on something like this, I need to know a little bit more information because I know too much information about how much the owner meddles and how much problems he's caused for this team. So there you go. It is what it is. What else do we have? Big O, how do you feel about Harbaugh? For me, I'm not. Jim Harbaugh is for me. I'm not. I don't find the love affair that others have for him. Yeah, I don't share that same one. Unfortunately, I guess. Oh, by the way, did you see this shot? I don't know if you saw this, but did you see NHL attendance? Huh? Why don't I do this? So let me email you this, and I want you to bring it up here on the show for folks. Let's see. I don't know why your email did not just automatically come up. That sucks. Luckily, I remembered it. Can't remember your damn phone number. I don't know your phone number. Do you know my phone number? Like, I know my wife's phone number. I know my daughter's phone number. And then it ends there. Everybody else has got to be automatic with your name in there and all that. So the Florida Panthers, it's only a couple games, but when you put effort into your team, like the Florida Panthers, like Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu have, and they've committed to winning like, most don't. Here's the results. Look at attendance right now. Look at that. Games on the 9th. The Panthers are number one. 19,431. We're over 100%. Is that a fire code? I mean, I don't want to get anybody in trouble at Amerant Bank. I'm just saying, if you're allowed 100%, how do you go to 100, almost 101% in capacity? So how about that, dude? And one more thing. It's all red. It's all red now. Now it's not like, 30% of the arena is the Rangers or the Detroit Red Wings or the Montreal Canadiens or, those teams that there's like 5, 6, 7 of them that actually have like a fan base that draw down here. You know what I'm saying? And that would be, it's not like that anymore. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You invest, you put into it, we respond. It's just now. And is there a pro team that you trust more than the Florida Panthers right now? I mean, they beat the Heat now. It used to be the Heat by miles. Now it's the Panthers. The Panthers are the pro organization in town that you have the most confidence in. And it's just so cool to see that. Really happy for the ownership group because they've put in a lot of work to make that happen. That's pretty damn cool. What else do we have going on? Music-wise, No Doubt. Somebody gave me a heads up yesterday on Twitter. Thank you so much. I appreciate you that they know I like No Doubt. I'm not into what's her name? Damn it. The lead singer. Like her solo stuff, I could do without that. But when it comes to No Doubt, man, I love that music. Love that music. I'm trying to get my wife to go. Spear in Las Vegas, May 6, 8, 9, 13, 15, and 16. The cool thing is, No Doubt announced today that they're going to have a residency in Las Vegas. And today, in 1995, No Doubt released their biggest album ever, Tragic Kingdom. So pretty cool that on the anniversary, which was 95, now it's 2005, that's 30 years, they make the announcement that they're going to be at the Sphere, and I am going. I'm going to go, and I want to go for a couple dates. And by the way, Santana is doing a residency at the same time. So I can already tell you I'm going to see No Doubt in Santana in Las Vegas. That is awesome. Can't wait for that, dude. Gwen Stefani, that's it. Yeah, I don't like her solo stuff. It's like Taylor Swift and Beyonce. I'm just not into their solo stuff. Yeah. I actually love Destiny's Child. Really enjoy that music. Not into Beyonce solo stuff. Definitely not into Taylor Swift stuff. And I'm not into Gwen Stefani solo stuff. But No Doubt, all in, cuz. All in. All right, let me see. What else do we have here? Let's go with famous people or musicians born on the 10th. Let's do that. Lizzie Hale, lead singer and songwriter, musician for Hailstorm, born in 1983. Love her. She is fantastic. Maya, U.S. singer, Marie Harrison, born in 1979. Let's see who else. Martin Kemp from Spandau Ballet, born in 61. Johnny Mayo from Republica, born in 63. Tanya Tucker, country music star. Delta Dawn, what's that flower you got on? Born in 55. David Lee Roth from Van Halen, born in 54. Midge Ure from Ultravox. What's that song I love? Vienna. God, that song is so good, man. So good. He was born in 53. Cyril Neville from the Neville Brothers, of course, born in 48. And that is it. Let's go with famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you the age, that means they are no longer with us. Let's go with musician Giuseppe Verdi, born in 1813. I remember him. Thelonious Monk, born in 1917. Ben Vereen, born in 46. He is 79 today. Bradley Whitford, actor, born in 59. He's 66. Brett Favre, born in 69. He's 56. Mario Lopez, 73. He's 52. Dale Earnhardt Jr., born in 74. He's 51. Maya, born in 79. She's 46. You got wrestlers.
Aaliyah James turns 27. Ashley D'Amboise turns 35. Giant Haystacks was born on this date in 1946. Ilya Dragunov turns 32. The great Jay White, he's 33. Jesse Camilla is 37. Mance Warner, 37. And AEW owner Tony Khan, he turns 43 on October 10th, 2025.
Family first, always on this show. Hey, Sean, why don't you go get your truck and bring it here right now before that monsoon comes? Because then you got to tear down while I do music history. So give me the billboard. Let's go to music history. You go move the truck so you don't get rained on. Let's go to music history. In 56, on this date, Elvis Presley released Love Me Tender, Love Me Sweet. It entered the charts for a 19-week stay at number 1 for 5 weeks. All right, there we go. 19 weeks, 5 of them at number 1. In 62, the BBC somehow determined that the Monster Mash by Bobby Boris Pickett was offensive, and it banned it from their airwaves. In 70, the Carpenters were number 2 on the U.S. singles charts with We've Only Just Begun. The song was originally written for a TV commercial advertising a bank. In 70, Neil Diamond went to number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Cracklin' Rosie, his first number 1 as an artist. In 70, Black Sabbath were number 1 in the UK with their second album, Paranoid. In 81, the Police went to number 1 on the UK album charts with Ghost in the Machine, their third number 1 album. In 83, Culture Club released their second studio album, Color by Numbers. It features the singles Church of the Poison Man, which is a great song, Comma Chameleon, Victims, Miss Me Blind, great song, It's a Miracle. It's a Miracle. In 87, Whitesnake went to number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Here I Go Again on My Own. In 88, U2 released their 6th studio album, Rattle and Hum. It features Desire, Angel of Harlem, When Love Comes to Town, and All I Want Is You, which is a great song. Love that song. In 95, KRS released his 2nd studio album, KRS-One, and it features MCs Act Like They Don't Know Me. Let's see. In 2011, Lana Del Rey released her first single, Video Games, a song inspired by 2 fractured relationships. And any birthdays here that I left out? Let's see. Nope. That is it. And that's what happened today in music history. Sean Stanley, give me 1 minute so I can move my vehicle. Family first.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Slowman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Slowman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Out there for being, well, thank you for being patient out there, but we've got a monsoon coming, and there's no way I want Sean, who's got to carry equipment to the truck and everything, because we're close to wrapping up, and then the man's going to get wet. So it's unacceptable. So we moved our cars, and we're under roof, which I love where we broadcast, because we're always safe here. You know what I'm saying? It could get hot a little bit, but, you know, today's not one of those days, which is a good thing. Yes, I do remember Quarter Flash. Yes, of course. Find another fool to love you. Find another. I love Quarter Flash. Talented. She could play the sax. Very good. I do like it. I do like Dream Theater, by the way. Love Dream Theater. Mark Portnoy is one of my favorite drummers in the world. Maybe my favorite right now, actually. Right now, yes. Yeah. Pert's gone. Yeah, he might be my favorite drummer right now, Mark Portnoy. Yeah. It's probably it. So, yeah, Jay, of course, safety first, bro. Always, dude. Always. That's the beauty of doing what Sean and I do. We don't answer to a damn thing. We get to do whatever we want to do, when we want to do it, and all that. It's just and thank you all out there, because without your support and visiting our amazing sponsors, we're not able to do this kind of stuff, and we really appreciate it big time. I'm gonna harden my heart. Yep. I'm gonna swallow my tears. What is it? I'm going to turn and leave you here. Yep, I remember that. Of course, Quarter Flash. Very good. Very good. I got a lot of music in my head. Dougie Fresh, you mentioned Culture Club, but attempt to ignore that some may have a tight-fitting concert shirt from their concert. Oh, just know I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. By the way, that shirt is not tight on me anymore. Okay? That shirt fits nice, like my Beach Boys shirt. Fits nice and comfortable, actually. So I lost the weight. I've kept it off, which is good. I've needed that. I haven't gone to movies lately. We are going to start now this week. Tron. There's a couple of movies now, so we're going to go back to going to a bunch, and we will be reviewing several. Definitely, I want to see Tron Arias. I cannot wait to see that, because the earlier Tron stuff sucked. But this, did you see the other Trons? But look at that. It didn't even attract you to go watch it. Have you watched the previews of this one? Oh, okay. All right. You're not a movie buff.
Star Wars is about as big sci-fi as I'll
I see.
go.
Okay, okay. All right.
That's it. I'm comedian, comics, things like that.
Right, I got you. This Tron looks cool. Okay? Maybe it's as cool as the game, because I love the game. I'd love to have a Tron game in my house, like a real Tron game, not like like the arcade. That would be like heaven. To have the Tron arcade. I love the Tron, especially the one that you sit inside, because there's a stand-up machine, and then there's a stand-up machine, and then there's a stand-up inside the box, like that. That's the one. When arcades usually had the regular stand-up machine, that's the one every arcade had. But once in a while, you would run into the special Tron machine. That was the one that you would step inside. dude, that was the badass machine. That was my favorite Tron machine to play. The movie wasn't anything, but I loved the video game. Big time. Love the video game. Real difficult, by the way, to play the damn video game back in the day. Let's see what else. Tron Eris was okay, says Skylar. Visually, it's great. And the soundtrack by, yeah, I know, 9 Inch Nails, dude. That is so awesome that they got him to do that. That is fantastic. I can't wait to see it. If you've ever seen 9 Inch Nails, you should go see him in concert, because the audio and the visual show that he puts together is just absolutely crazy. But yeah, I would imagine that the music's pretty good because of 9 Inch Nails. I love it. Tron Legacy was better for sure. Wow. Okay. Damn, that depresses me a little bit, because I'm kind of built up for Tron, for the Eris one, because I thought it looked like really, really cool. What a shame. I hope it is. I hope it's better than you say. No, Randy, I don't entertain any of that stupidity, my brother. That's all Belichick and Gruden and all that. Those are just people throwing out stuff to talk about. Miami's not hiring Gruden. Anybody that would hire Gruden or Belichick is just a stupid franchise. I would laugh at the Dolphins if they hired Gruden. It would be like hiring Joe Philbin when I knew Joe Philbin was a clown when they hired him. You know? So anyway, folks, we are out of here. We appreciate all of you out there. As always, we'll be back on Sunday, all right, for the Dolphins pre- and post-game show. We'll get you ready starting at 11:30, and then we'll come back for the post-game show with, of course, the one and only David Furones and Chris Perkins. Appreciate all of you out there. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We thank Steve Calibro with the Wise Guy Picks. We thank Manny Navarro. We thank David Furones. We thank, of course, Larry Schlossberg and all the great people out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Sunday. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the